Hey everyone, and welcome. So get your hard hats on because today we're not just going to learn about the Industrial Revolution. We're going to build an amazing essay about it, step by step. You ready? Let's get to it.
Okay, so forget everything you think about boring old writing assignments. I want you to think of this as a super cool building project. Seriously, we're not just writing an essay, we're constructing it, like a master builder putting together something awesome. This is your shot to create something you'll be really proud of. First up, your mission, the production order. So every big project needs a mission, right? Well, think of your writing assignment as the official production order. It's the list that tells you exactly what needs to be in the final product. So what's on this checklist? Let's take a look. First, we've got to explain what the Industrial Revolution actually was. Simple enough. Second, we need to describe at least two really important changes. You know, things that happen with work or travel or just everyday life. And third, we have to explain why this time was such a huge deal in history. Those are our three main jobs.
Okay, next up is the blueprint, your assembly line plan. You can't just start building without a plan, right? And for our essay factory, our blueprint is going to be the classic 5-paragraph outline. This thing is our secret weapon, our step-by-step guide to making this whole process super easy.
And here it is. Check this out. Our 5-station assembly line. Each station is just one paragraph of your essay. It's so simple. We'll start at Station 1 with the introduction, then move to body paragraph 1, Why England, then to Awesome Inventions, then Impact on People, and finally, we wrap it all up with the conclusion. See how that flows? It's a perfect plan. All right, let's get building. The assembly line is in action. Planning's over. It's time to fire up those engines and see how this whole thing works. First stop, Station 1.
Okay, here we are. Station 1, the introduction. This is where we hook our reader right from the start. You gotta think of this first paragraph like the cool box for a brand new video game. It has to look so exciting that people can't wait to see what's inside.
So, what's our job here at Station 1? 3 things. First, we need a great hook to grab their attention. Maybe ask a cool question or drop a surprising fact. Next, you gotta state your main point, your thesis. Something clear like the Industrial Revolution started in England with new machines that changed, well, pretty much everything. And last, just give them a little sneak peek of what you're going to talk about next. Okay, intro's done. Let's head down the line to Station 2, Why England? This is a really important part of the story. We've got to answer that big question. Out of all the places in the world, why did this whole thing start right there in England? So for this paragraph, your main idea is basically that England had all the right ingredients, kind of like a recipe for a revolution. And what were those ingredients? Well, this is where you dig into your research. You're going to talk about how they had tons of coal to power engines, plenty of iron ore to build all those machines, and a bunch of rivers and canals that worked like superhighways for moving goods all over the place.
And now we're at Station 3, Awesome Inventions. Oh yeah, this is where things get really exciting. We're talking about the actual machines, the game-changing tech that turned the world upside down. This is the heart of the story for sure.
So your big idea here is simple. These new inventions changed work and travel forever. And you've got to give some awesome examples, right? You'll definitely want to talk about the steam engine, shout out to James Watt, and how it powered factories. And then how George Stephenson basically put that engine on tracks and created the railroad. I mean, come on, that's what literally powered the world into the future.
Okay, we've covered where it happened and the cool new machines, but now we get to Station 4. And honestly, this might be the most important part, the impact on people. How did all of this change things for regular folks, for families, for kids?
So the main point for this paragraph is that life changed, like really fast. And a lot of it was, well, it was really hard. You want to describe how cities got huge all of a sudden, that's called urbanization, and how they got super crowded and, frankly, pretty unhealthy. You've got to talk about the dangerous factory work, the super long hours, and, the really tough part, that even little kids had to work in these factories in mines.
Just wow. Take a second and read this. I go into the mine at 5 o'clock in the morning and come out at 5 in the evening. I do not stop or rest any time. That's from a real girl, Patience Kershaw. When you put a detail like this in your essay, a real voice from the past, you're not just telling us facts anymore. You're showing us what it was like. And that's what makes an essay truly powerful.
And just like that, we've made it to the end of the line. Welcome to Station 5, the conclusion. This is where we put the finishing touches on our masterpiece. We're going to polish it up and make sure everyone understands why this whole story matters so much.
So what's the job at our final station? First, say your main idea again, but in a new, fresh way. Make it sound even more powerful. Then, do a quick recap of your main points: England's resources, the awesome inventions, and the impact on people. And then, for the grand finale, you connect it to today. Explain how all the tech we love, our phones, our games, our computers, it all has roots that go way, way back to the Industrial Revolution.
And there we have it. Our product is fully assembled. But wait, before it can leave the factory, it has to pass one last test: quality control. We've got to run it through inspection to make sure it's a top quality build.
So, how do you get a great score? Well, a good product, a level 3, it has all the right parts. It's got an intro, a conclusion, facts, it's solid. But an awesome product, a level 4, that's a step up. It uses transition words to make everything flow together. It doesn't just give you a fact, it explains why that fact is important. And it uses powerful vocabulary like productivity and urbanization. That's how you go from good to great.
All right, just a couple of final reminders. Think of these as the official factory rules.
Rule number 1, the timeline. You have 5 days in class to get this done. And hey, guess what? We have 5 stations on our assembly line. It's perfect. Just focus on one paragraph, one station each day. No stress. You've totally got this.
Okay, what materials can you use? You've got your Core Knowledge Student Reader, Britannica Kids, and National Geographic. All great sources for facts. But here is the biggest, most important rule of the entire factory. You have to use your own words. No plagiarism, no copying. We want to see what you can build.
So if you remember one thing, remember this. Think of your outline like that factory assembly line we've been talking about. Just follow the steps, go from station to station, and I promise you are going to build something amazing. So the blueprint is yours. The assembly line is all set up. You've got all the materials you need. Now there's just one question left. What will you build? Get to it.